Good morning. Check if everything is working. Hope everyone's doing well. What do we have today? I think it's side controls. Morning, Jag. Alright, so as of every week, we'll recap everything. Today's class is like basically the top position of side control, and our main focus is gonna be like controlling our opponent before we move on. We did escapes last time, so the escapes are actually gonna help you a lot on top. So you'll be able to figure out the control points from watching the escapes as well. So we just recap them. So we got regular side control, and then our goal for on Tuesday's lessons was to learn these names here, so we know where we are in terms of positioning. So we have side control. This is what we call cross chest, reverse cross chest, and smart knee, which is like the 4 little side control linguals that you should learn for both top and bottom. But we'll quickly go through the escapes just to recap it, and then we'll move on. So we have the regular frame escape, which is our traditional little move where we frame, bring our arm in, and then we get our close guard or half guard or whatever. But that's the most typical escape we learn. We often get stuck in this position here while we're trying to pull guard, because our opponent is keeping their elbows tight towards their legs. So this is where the overhook comes into play. So I didn't do very good on this video, but see how my arm is underneath Kirsten's arm? That's just to kind of pull that arm towards my head, so I can stop her from pinching too hard and I can get my leg free. So that's our frame escapes. Whenever we can't do our frame escapes, we're often left with underhooks. So our underhook escape is we get our frame but we haven't been able to shrimp or anything. So we bring our arm underneath and that becomes an underhook, and then we get up. That's our regular underhook escape. Backdooring is our last little ditch position, which comes from us doing all the work with this arm. Whoops, this arm here. So I'd go for this when I can't get my frame, I can't get my underhook, so this arm is killed. So I'm gonna use the other arm instead to try to escape. And we do that by bringing the arm all the way to the south there, and then bump, and we try to get away. So these are traditional little escapes that we try to do, and if any of them don't work, we're gonna learn why today in the top position. But one of the main reasons is usually because of the cross chest scenario, which is this position here. So now you can see Steve starts to elbow escape here. I go to our cross chest position, which is here, where people lie down. Also called scarf hold sometimes. But this is one of the main reasons you're not going to be able to shrimp. So we need to learn how to deal with this little scenario here, which is why I'm calling cross chest, because you make a cross with your chests. But our first escape from here is the little bump. We talked about how important it is for us to get our elbow free as the person on the bottom, and on top you want to maintain that elbow. If you get your elbow free, you're usually out. We had the little sit-up sweep, which is if our partner doesn't follow us, we just push and get up on top. And lastly, our little leg scissors, which is throwing our leg over the head try to escape. So this is our regular cross chest position, and then we had the reverse cross chest, and we're going to learn when to transition to this in a second. But just remember, the person frames you, push the elbow away. That's our first little escape. Keeping our elbows close together allows us to do a high-low recovery. And we have our underhooks as well for single legs. But again, all of this was last week's lesson. I'm going really fast at the moment because I want to go to the new lesson, but just as a recap, we also had dealing with knee on belly. So the most efficient way, I'd say, is to try to stuff the foot, which is just pushing the foot and then forcing the half guard, instead of trying to like just push it all the way. And we had a little kind of flexible move called the jailbreak, which is like a backdoor, but you put your foot as a butterfly hook and then you stretch them away. Cool. But we're going to move on to today's class now. You got any questions from these, or you want to see any of them again? I'll put a link for the PowerPoint, or just watch the other video. Morning, no worries. You just came in time for the new lesson. I was just recapping last week's one. So today, like I said, right, if we know all of these escapes that we learned a few times ago, we're probably going to be able to control someone on top as well. Morning. So here's the main lesson today. Okay, it's going to be control and transitions from side control. The biggest thing is being able to get side control and avoiding the person recovering guard or throwing you over, and etc. There's three main types of people escape windows when it comes to side control. A lot of white belts or bigger guys, they try to bench press you off. So the approach to take when someone's trying to bench press you, or you're not able to hold on to side control, is to go to knee on belly. The person's trying to pull guard, we're gonna aim to go to cross chest, and we're going to take a smart knee first, then we're going to go to cross chest. And if the person's framing you, we're going to modify to reverse cross chest. So this is confusing now, but we will learn it by the end of class. Cool? Any questions so far? I'll go over what cross chest is and reverse cross chest so you guys don't get confused. So you'll be able to learn the lingo as well. But moving on, so this is probably the most important transition we're gonna have, okay? Perfect. Still remember? That's good. So, whenever we pass our guard, okay, it's not so easy to control our opponent, because especially against someone very fidgety, as soon as you pass the guard, they're gonna be like squirming their way out or pushing and framing and etc. So we need to learn how to deal with it. Morning, Rogerio, how are you? So we need to learn how to deal with the frames and the shrimp escapes and etc. So your first biggest little fight is gonna be the frames, okay, which is either the hand or the elbow sometimes on your hip, and sometimes a frame as well. But this is where we go to smart knee, right? So if someone starts to elbow escape and we stay on our knees like this, they're probably gonna end up pulling guard at some point. So this is where the smart knee comes from. That's the smart knee now. So I pop that knee right into the hip and I base on my leg. And that just means that I can follow Kirstine wherever she goes, because I'm up on that foot and I can just slide my knee closer. It almost also limits the space between like our hips. So there's no gap for Christine to put her knee in and start pulling guard at this point. And we're gonna do this until our partner kind of raises the elbow, right? So you see me following her until I can see that elbow is off the mat, so I can grab that elbow and pull it up like that. And then we can move on to our cross chest. Yes, as soon as the frame starts, okay? And then quick question for you guys, let's see if you get it right. So why do I need this elbow controlled from cross chest? This is from our escape lesson. So what's so important about this elbow? Brownie points for anyone who gets it. Smart knee as soon as... If the elbow's on the floor, you can shrimp. Yes. Okay. All of our escapes, as the person on the bottom from Tuesday's class, relies on us getting this elbow free. Okay. So if I go back to side control here, this is our escapes, right? So this is smart knee, cross chest. Now I've got control of Steven's elbow here, but if he breaks free, then he can start bumping and then he can start escaping. So on top, we can't lose that elbow. Okay, anytime we go to cross chest, make sure we hold on to that elbow quite tight. And it's not so much what traps it really. It's not you pulling or pinch. It's actually pinching your armpits down. So you're like squeezing your elbow towards your rib cage. And that keeps her wrist trapped and she won't be able to get it out. Okay. There's still other stuff that she can do to get her elbow free. But this is one of our first little control points, right? So every time you pass a guard, if someone's trying to pull guard, there's a few little, you can feel them moving away and etc. Pop a smart knee, follow them around until you can get that elbow control. Then you can transition to your cross chest. Okay, can't stress how important it is. Don't go straight to cross chest from here, because you don't have any elbow control and she'll be able to bump you and replace. Alright? Everyone happy with the cross chest scenario? And this is both from a static point like this, or from where you just passed the guard. Okay? So there's one time where you're gonna break this rule. And it's gonna be when people frame you. Right? Because the frame can be really annoying in terms of controlling your partner, especially if he's got a good frame already. But in those scenarios, we're going to go to reverse cross chest, which is our next slice. This could be from us being in cross chest already, or at any other point. Okay? But we're here in regular side control, and Kirstine starts framing my neck now. There's the frame coming in, just before the yawn. There it is. So don't hang around there for too long. Okay? As soon as someone frames you, you're bringing this arm over the top. And the main reason is, if I keep looking towards Kirstine here, there's a lot of pressure on my throat. And it can be like really, really annoying to deal with. So instead, we want to look towards the other direction. But we also want to open up like windows for us to like mount or set up submissions. So that's where the reverse cross chest comes in. So first little move is this arm coming over the top. And then you can't see it, right? But my right arm there has an underhook at this point. The right arm is going to go to the far hip over somewhere around here. So it's going to look like this. Bring the arm over. And then my right arm is going to the far hip. And then we move a little bit towards north-south. And that's how we deal with the frame. And from here, there's lots of setups, loads of moves that you can do. But here's the transition again. Kirsten's gonna frame my neck. I bring the arm over, 1, 2, and then you move over. Okay, this has to be a fast transition, obviously, and a lot of people do this without knowing. They just do it naturally. They're bothered and they just run to north-south. But try to avoid the escape windows, which is one of them is not controlling the hips there, right? So if I don't bring this arm over to the hip, Kirsten can pull guard on me quite easily. So bring the arm first and then start moving. And stay glued onto your partner. So this is what I'm calling reverse cross chest. Right? Later on we'll learn all the moves from this position here. But for now, again, we're just focusing on controlling from the side control position. So we've dealt with someone trying to pull guard on us. And we dealt with people framing our necks so far. So those are the two ones. You move, keeping pressure on the chest. Yes, you never, anytime you side control, every single transition, you're lying your whole weight onto your partner. Okay, the only time exception for that is going to be knee on belly. But that for now, anything that we do, we're staying with that chest pressure. Next up is underhooks. So we've dealt with frames, again we dealt with shrimps. Now it's dealing with underhooks. And there's a couple of the good thing about underhooks is, one, it's hard for the person on the bottom to get from regular side control. And two, you've got like 3 stages of actually dealing with it. You've got early, a late one, and a really late one as well. So it can be quite forgiving if the person does get an underhook on you. They shouldn't, but it does happen. So the way we get the underhook from here as the person on the bottom, we start off with a frame, and then we make a little space so we can get the underhook. Whoops, sorry. There it is. This is what I mean by underhook, arm goes underneath. Your early approach to this is a leg hug. Quite simple, but you have to do it as the person's getting the underhook. That's why it's a really early transition. So she underhooks me, I underhook her leg. And what that means is she can't really move at this point. She can't turn on her side. For the underhook to be effective, she has to turn on her side and go for single legs and etc. So I'm just preventing that by leg hugging. Just to make it a bit more clear visually. Here's the escape the person on the bottom is trying to do. Frame, bump, underhook, and then starts getting up. To avoid the escape, we just simply need to hug the leg. She'll hit a window and she'll get stuck. But like I said, this is really early on. If you forget this, the person's probably going to escape. Unless you know the late approach to it. Okay, which is the knee on belly. So if things aren't going very well and you've missed the leg hug, your next move should be, person's got the underhook, pop a knee on belly. And from there, there's lots of slow setups that you can do. But this will slow the person down. Often they'll push your knee and you can get an underhook back. It really depends on the bottom back person. Or they might try to stuff your foot if they watched that lesson. And then you're probably going to get stuck in half guard. But remember, early leg hug, late knee on belly. Your really late one, which I didn't film unfortunately, is your top spin, which is the spinning around to north-south, which is a very good one as well. It can also be an early one. So far, we dealt with shrimp escapes, we dealt with frames, and now we know what to do from the underhooks. Yeah, so the top spin, you can do it from really early on, as soon as the person underhooks you. like instead of the leg hug, you could just do the top spin. And there's 2 little cases for each. The good side about this, it takes a little effort and you're not gonna lose position. With the top spin, you're literally going around all the way over, so there's a lots of stuff that could go wrong on the way, so it's higher risk. But it's also higher reward because you almost end up on someone's back. So if you're a fast fighter, I'll go for top spin. If you're quite a slow, controlled person, leg hug, and then focus on what you want to do next. Or if you need points, this is better. Last little move, okay, is gonna be the backdooring, which is this move here. So arm goes over to the other side, and then we're trying to bump to get up on top. So couple things that make this move you're able to, like, realistic. One of them, you have to get your arm all the way through, so you can stop it as the person on top by just being closer or limiting that space, going to cross chest, all sorts of things. But if they do get it through and you don't know how to react, they're probably gonna escape. So as soon as the arm's over, that's when we're gonna deal with it. Now in the gi, this is really effective because it ends up with you getting a submission. So person gets her arm through there. As soon as we realize that the arm's through to the other side, you're gonna give up on your underhook and you're gonna swing this arm underneath and cup the shoulder, or in the gi you would grab the collar. Now this is what we call a bread cutter position. It's, in my opinion, one of the strongest holds from side control. Like, if you've got the back of the collar and head control here, I don't think the person on the bottom is going anywhere. But there's only a few moves that you can do from there. One of them is attacking this arm by doing arm bars and etc. And another one is a bread cutter choke. But if you just remember that if someone brings the arm over to your hip like this, to do this escape, just swing your arm and you'll catch them in this like collar control. And then from there you'll be able to set up submissions or go for chokes. Or if you want to abort this position, you can do like escapes. Yeah, you can get really creative with this. There's like triangle setups, there's like arm bars, lots of chokes. In no gi you can go for north-south chokes and etc. But yeah, it's a brilliant position. Let me just find a bread cutter choke for you guys so you can see. So the bread cutter control would be this. Just this bit here. So he's setting it up differently, but you grab the back of the collar there and you draw it out. That's a really bad example, but that's the choke there. So, quiz time. Hold on. Let's see if people's been listening. Take the titles off. Here we go. Alright. First question. Let's see. If someone underhooks you from side control, what move should we go for? So if someone does this to us and they're trying to do this escape here, what's our counter to that underhook? Lovely. What's our late counter to it? Beautiful. Nice. Points for everyone. And there's one more missing. One more answer. So we got leg hug, spin around. Note. Wrong one, Steven. A black belt's allowed to reply. No one's gonna get the last one. So we got leg hug, which is right. We got spin around. We got one more. Right, no answers. This is it. 3, 2, 1. Neon belly. This one you guys should use a lot as well because it allows a lot of submissions. Alright, so they underhook. Another quick one is just pop a neon belly. That's the last answer I was looking for. Alright. You've just passed someone's guard. And they're doing this to you. You're trying to shrimp escape. What's the first protocol? Do you have tissue? First protocol when someone's trying to shrimp escape from you. It's meant to be Jag's answer, this one. Smart knee, fantastic. And then from smart knee, where are we going? If that kit's still shrimping. Ah, oh no. Reverse cross chest. Regular cross chest. So, whoops, this one. Ooh, Jag went in with the real name. She gets some extra points. Kesagatami. That's extra points for knowing the real name. So, someone starts shrimping. Nice, we went to smart knee. That was perfect. Elbow control. And then we go to either cross chest, Kesagatami. Or some people call it judo scarf hold as well. Alright. Next one. If Kirstine starts framing me here, where are we going? Morning, Ginger. You did redeem yourself. So I get framed from side control. Reverse Kasagatomi. I don't think the name works like that, but as long as you guys remember. I don't know the real name for the reverse. But yeah, reverse cross chest. So Kirsten frames there after the yawn. We go to reverse cross chest. Very nice. Right. Someone starts to do this escape on us. Back door. What should we do from here? Bread cutter, fantastic. Bread cutter control. It's probably a better name to remember. It's a free bread cutter for you every time someone does this, so make sure to remember. It's one of the funnest one as well. They start doing that, grab the back of the color, back door. Nice. You guys got, I think, everything except one of them. Neon belly. Better than last week. So I'm happy with that. Okay. So I'm working and listening. So again, to recap everything, for you to get quite good at controlling someone and escaping, as long as you remember the little 4 moves there, which is side control, you know where cross chest is, reverse cross chest and smart knee, and do your escapes accordingly. So go anytime someone's passing, get your frames in, look for your frame escapes. Frame escapes don't work, look for underhooks instead. And if underhooks don't work, go for back doors, right? And if you just cycle through these escapes, you should be able to get something going on, unless they're going to cross chest or reverse cross chest, and just follow the chain of escapes from there as well. We dealt with neon belly, and then as the person on top controlling, you should be able to recognize each escape they're doing, because you've learned those escapes, right? So if you know the escapes, you know what the people on top are trying to do to you, and that will make you better at controlling the positions as well. So we had, if someone starts to shrimp escape, smart knee, pick up the elbow and go to cross chest. That's a shrimp killer. From we know that if someone frames us, we're meant to go to reverse cross chest. And then we dealt with the underhooks, leg hug, neon belly and top spins. And this is the neon belly. And we know that if someone's bringing their arm over to the other side, they're probably going for some form of backdoor. So control there and make them squirm, and then you can go for your submissions. Cool. Any questions about side control? Fire them away now before we move on. If you want to see any of the videos, tell me now, otherwise we'll forget. Or any issues you guys have in side control. So you could change your strategy for this quite easily, right? So there's no subs there, we haven't looked at any submissions or anything. This is solely for the purpose of controlling someone from side control, which most people know it's quite hard to maintain side control if you don't know how to control the person properly. And then all that hard work you did passing the guard is wasted because you lost it. So let's pull up something from side control. See if I got anything. Alright, if there's no question, that is the end of the class. If you guys wanna want the PowerPoint, I'm gonna upload it to this link after. Just join it. There you go. I'll post it when I'm finished here. If you guys want to join the Discord group, you can. Anyone got any news? Thank you, Rogerio. Bye bye. Oh, I can't today, unfortunately. What's the next class? Is there a new class now? Oh, it's the Caesar's new class, isn't it? 6 packs. Since we got time to kill, let's watch some of Rogerio's fights on YouTube. Got nothing to do. Let's watch. Huh? I think as long as it's not IBJJF ones, because that's the one that I get copyright striked on. This is from Sweep King. I think I can watch this one. There's a little bit of side control action here. Let's see this. When do we come back to the gym? I have no idea yet. So this is Rogerio versus Luke. London Open. Let's see if there's any side controls here. A little bit of one leg X. Watch Rogerio backstep. Oh, he didn't backstep. Guy's going for a single. Is that 2 points? It is. The ref didn't give him points there. Rogerio's cheating. No, Rogerio got 2 points. Ref is on his side. It's because he's Brazilian. There's a leg weave pass. Beautiful work here. Watch that. Remember our half guard lesson, half guard passing. This is a lasso sweep here from our lasso class. Rogerio's been watching our lessons. There's the lasso sweep. He's got the trousers. He's got lasso. There's the sweep. And then straight into Rogerio, take care. Straight into the leg weave next. There's the leg weave. He's got the grip down the bottom trousers. Wind shows his legs. And starts to pass. Straight into cross chest. To avoid the guard pulls. There's Roger in the background. Now, this is another way to stop, which I didn't mention, to stop guard pulls. This is, he's doing a modified chain here, which is going to north-south. So this is his frame escape. But you can do it really early. Here it is. controls the hip. That's his modifier, or reverse cross chest. Now he's having a hard time here because he didn't bring his other arm over to the other side. So you can see the guy's still able to move around quite a bit. So he goes to knee on belly. Step over. He's gonna jump to the back or either top spin, one of them. So this is smart knee, so like a similar version but still smart knee. There's the top spin again. Guy turtles to avoid, gives up the back. Nice transitions. Bye bye, Elise, take care. And I think that's pretty much over. They get resetted. Roger is a bully. I believe he used to train with this guy and now he's beating him up. The shake of the hand straight into the choke. Poor guy. Look at this. He didn't even give him time to get his grips. Look at this. They tap hands and instant to the collar. Look, the guy's not even defending his colors. He's like, oh, I know Rogero, he'll be nice to me. Boom. Luke's a really nice guy, actually. He's really sweet. So there's a nice little control. So we saw a little lasso sweep from our half guard lesson. We saw a bit of leg weave from the passing. And we saw a little bit of side control. Boom. Very nice. Right. We'll leave it at that for today. What is that sound? Where is it coming from? Alright guys, hope you have a lovely week. Yeah, that was a bow and arrow. If you've got any questions, fire them away. I'll probably be on Discord for a bit. Let me actually start uploading this before I forget. Q, you got any news? Q has no news. This PC. Side control escapes. Alright, it's uploading. I'll post the link after. But I'll post the folder so all the lessons will be there. And when we come back, you guys will be unstoppable. Hopefully. You can tell me how it's going. Well, see you, bro. Take care. Dun, 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 dun. All right. All right. Bye, bye, everyone. Take care. Say bye, Kiwi.